This is the Without Losing Your Cool podcast. We have entrepreneurs, climate changers, entertainers, and survivors turned thrivers. You do not want to miss a thing. This is a topic I don't know how many of you are going to be able to relate to, but struggle the right word? I don't know that struggle, maybe grappling, wrestling with this personally the last little bit. Many years ago, probably going on about a decade now. So I was about 44, mid 40s. I have a girlfriend who is, I think she's 7 years older than I am. So she had just rolled into her 50s. And I remember one time when I went to visit her, she had moved back to New York. She said something to me that struck me as really odd. I'd never heard anybody say this, but she said, "I can't believe I'm in my invisible years." And I was like, what the hell? What do you mean your invisible years? So instead of keeping it to myself, being the curious person that I am, I said, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Invisible years? I've never heard of the invisible years. What are those? And she said, those are the years where you are between being young, but you're also not old. You're in these in between years. You're no longer looked at as somebody's mom because you're not running around with your kids in tow if you happen to be a woman who has children. You're running your errands alone. You're at the grocery store alone. You are doing everything alone, mostly through your day. And she said that she didn't realize that this was going to happen to her, that she was going to be in line and people would cut in front of her, or like she wasn't even there, or be at a counter waiting for service and be standing there and standing there and standing there like she wasn't even there. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds terrible. And then I started to think, is this really even happening to you? Like, how much of this is made up? Now, keep in mind, my girlfriend, she's petite, she's very soft spoken, brilliant, really, really, really intelligent, incredible woman, strong, resilient. She's gone through shit that like I would not be able to withstand. So I knew that if she was standing there and nobody was serving her or nobody was talking to her or people were looking through her or past her or not even seeing her at all, it wasn't because she's not incredible. She's not an invisible human being, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. She's not the kind of person that's like, you not look at her. You wouldn't take notice of her. She's just incredible. She's vivacious. She's dynamic. She's just fabulous. So it didn't make sense to me. And I heard what she was saying, but it just, for some reason, it didn't go in. I just didn't understand what she was talking about at all until it happened to me. Until I also found myself in the invisible years. Shantelle, what are the invisible years? You didn't know what they were. Now you're telling me about the invisible years. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm also the kind of person that you wouldn't look past in a room. I'm also the kind of person that doesn't shy away, that's not meek, that's not a muted human. I don't go through life muted. So how did it happen that I too stand at a counter and I can stand there forever? I think. Maybe. I've never tried it because I'm mouthy. So I'm like, excuse me, hi, I'm standing here waiting to be served. But it started to happen. And then what started to happen as well as feeling invisible out in society. And you know what? I get it. You guys are probably going to email me. You're going to message me and be like, oh my God, victim. Oh, you're being dramatic. Blah. Save it. I'm not here to be right. I'm not here to have people challenge my feelings or have people say that that's not possible. How could it be? I'm just here to say that I wonder if you feel it too. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say these invisible years? Do you feel them? Are you in your invisible years? Am I relating to you? Are you relating to me? Do you understand what I'm talking about? I had a conversation with my husband just the other day. We were looking at photos for my podcast, actually, funnily enough. And I was trying to pick a cover photo. And I kept saying, he was like, this one's great. And this one's great. And I love this. And you look like this in this one. And you look like that in this one. And I was looking at them, and I'm going to get emotional. And again, please don't come at me. But I was looking at them and I kept thinking, I don't look like me. And what I mean by I don't look like me is I don't look like me 10 years ago. I don't look like me in my 40s. I don't look like me in my 30s. Like, I'm in sweater sets all of a sudden. Like, the fuck am I doing in sweater sets? I'm like, where's the plunging neckline? Like, who am I becoming? Who is this woman that I'm looking back at? And he's like, you look intelligent. You look serious. You look like somebody with something to say. You look like somebody who's educated. You look like somebody who has value. But I didn't see that. What I saw was a woman in her invisible years. Is this why nobody sees me anymore? Is this what my friend meant when she said, I just feel invisible? It's not so much that you're invisible to society, but these years in our 50s, which for the record, I wouldn't want to go back to my 30s. In my 30s, I was a wreck. My marriage was upside down. I was lost. I was my business was winding up, something that I'd poured so much of my heart and soul into. I was in a separation with my husband. I was dating all kinds of people, most of them not good for me. I was drinking too much. I was doing drugs. I was a mom of teenage girls. I was fucked up. I was lost. I was confused. I was a mess. I would not want to go back to me in my 30s. But this woman in her 50s, who is all those things that my husband said, I'm so much more knowledgeable. I'm so much more secure. I'm so much more grounded. I have so much life that I've lived and experience that I've gleaned. I wouldn't change it for anything. But then why was I looking at these photos feeling like I don't know who this person is? Who is this person? Who is this person in transition? Who is this woman in transition from the plunging necklines, the mini skirt, the high heels to the sweater set woman? And how do we do that dance? Like, how do you hold on to the things about you that you loved? Your sexual appetite, your desire for adventure, for to learn new things, to expand yourself, to grow while wearing sweater sets. I know maybe it sounds crazy to you, and maybe I'm putting too much emphasis on the sweater set, but I just feel like I get it. I get what my friend was talking about. I don't know who this woman is staring back at me. I love her. I appreciate her. She's gotten me through so many incredible things. But how do I move forward into these next years, these menopause years, where nothing's the same, which is a good thing, but nothing's the same, which is a difficult thing. How do you evolve? How do we evolve as women when, if we are mothers, if we are partners, where everybody needs us that little bit less? Who are we now? Who do we share the wisdom with? Who do we tell the stories to? And I just thought, how many of us are out here? I'm sorry, I get emotional about this, but how many of us are out here becoming invisible to our partners? Are we struggling all alone, feeling that loss of our youth, while loving all that we've earned, all that we've gathered? It's a real juxtaposition to be in. It's a real, I guess, dichotomy of sorts, because like I said, you couldn't throw me back into my 30s. Without losing your cool, we've got your gift giving needs covered. Whether it's a holiday gift, if it's a support gift, if it's a little extra love that somebody in your life needs gift, or a parent who needs a little more guidance, advice, and the knowing that they are not alone out there in their parenting journey, we have got you covered. If you know somebody who is deepening their relationship to self, grab them the Self-Love Bundle. It includes the Loving Yourself Without Losing Your Cool book, Loving Yourself journal that accompanies the book, and love notes for adults. If you have somebody in your life who's expecting or has a little from 0 to 10, then the Raising Kids Bundle is the perfect gift set for them. It comes with the Raising Your Kids Without Losing Your Cool and love notes for littles. If you have a parent in your inner circle who is heading into tween and teendom, boy, have we got the gift set for you. Parenting your teens without losing your cool comes with love notes for tweens or teens. You get to choose. All of this is available for you at ChantelleBisson.com. If you're shopping ChantelleBisson.com for the very first time, don't forget to add yourself to the newsletter to claim your shopping discount code. Go now. You know, when you were in your 30s and you're like, oh my God, my waist, my this, and you wouldn't wear the stuff and you wouldn't take the bikini photos, do all that. Please do all that because you're going to wish you did it when you're in your 50s. And I can't believe I'm one of those people now that I'm telling you, oh, when you're in your 50s, you're going to wish you had, but you're going to wish you had. Don't leave it to chance. Don't wait to be there to realize that I woulda, shoulda, coulda. Take the risks, go on the trips, take the photos. We don't have to be invisible, I guess is what I'm getting at. We don't have to be invisible. And I'm so fortunate. I have beautiful daughters. I have a vibrant relationship with my husband. And I have a partner who's like, I couldn't love you anymore now that you're 54 than I did when you were 34. But it's not enough for that confidence to come from outside. It has to start inside. So if you, like me, are feeling like these are invisible years, I don't know who I am anymore because I'm sure as hell not who I was, but I don't know where I'm going and I don't know who's going with me and I don't know what to bring forward and what to leave behind. I just want to encourage you to just communicate about it. Don't suffer in silence. And it is a kind of suffering, that loss of your not femininity, because that's not right, because I still feel feminine, but like menopause wreaks havoc. And I think so many of us are going it alone. You know, another fortunate thing, I've always worked with naturopaths and people who specialize in hormone health and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like I'm all over the place because I feel like in these invisible years, there's so much going on and we shrink back. As women, we kind of shrink back and there's no reason to. There's no reason to. We don't have to become what society would have us be, which is like nothing, right? Like those in between years is if you are married and have children, your kids are off having their own lives, and maybe you're not yet a grandparent. So you don't identify as a grandmother. So that's not the new hat to wear. That's not the new badge of honor when people say, oh, who are you? What? Oh, I'm a grandmother now. Oh, I have, you know, as women, like that's such a thing that we do to ourselves is like, we put labels on ourselves. And once those labels are not readily available because we don't have children in tow, well, you're not a mom anymore. Maybe you're lucky enough to have a vibrant career so you can talk about that. Maybe you're not. And maybe you're just out there wandering around lost, waiting for somebody else to make you something else. And I just want to encourage you to try something that you want to do. Like these are those years. These are those years. They're not invisible years. These are your years. These are your days, your months, your time to just sit quiet and be like, okay, all that other shit is done. All my shoulds have been checked off. I've fulfilled all my roles that either were put upon you or that you chose for yourself. Well, what's next? Take control. I guess just take control. If you don't want to wear the sweater sets in your 50s and you still want to wear a plunging neckline, do it. Do it. If you want to wear the mini skirt, wear the mini skirt. I hate that people say that you have to dress a certain kind of way when you hit a certain age. That's bullshit. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't wait until it's too late to have and live the life that you want and to explore all the interests and take all the adventures and wear all the hats that you've always dreamed of wearing. And I know I say it a lot, but it is only one life. And none of us know when our clock is going to strike and it's going to be time to say goodbye. And do you really want to leave stones unturned and have spent whatever time you have left here invisible? I know I don't. And I hope by me talking about this with you that you come to the conviction and conclusion that you also do not want to spend your years invisible either. I love you. Go do all the things.
I'm so grateful you joined in on this conversation. Subscribe where you're listening, leave a comment, connect with us on social media for more, and all the links, you can find them in the show notes. We will see you at the next one.